everybody, this is Tim from Mainly Muscle Cars along with Cameraman Ken, and today we are looking at a 65 Thunderbird. A really cool car. Take a look at the details on this one. We got a lot of good photos. Of course we'll get them in the video, but really neat car. Ton of stuff to talk about, and there's stuff I know I'm going to miss, but we'll do our best to cover it. Really nice car, high-end build. The chrome on this car is phenomenal. A lot of it was custom done too. If you look at the setup there on the fender, that's been simplified. But it's very, very tasteful. A lot of the stuff that's been done on this car you don't notice. You just look at it and say, holy crap, that's a clean car. And this one is. A lot of stuff you wouldn't expect to find on a Bird on this one, but everything just really works well. You know, again, I really love the way they did the fender there. If you follow that back, I mean, the door looks perfect coming up into that fender. What they did is they eliminated the door handles. So they really cleaned up that body line. And I am not one, usually oh man, I have to have door handles. This car, the poppers work excellent and they just look so good. And if you look at the gaps on that, how clean the door gap is, how good the fitment between the door and the quarter panel is, the fitment and the straightness on this car are phenomenal. Not something you typically find on a 60s car. Tons and tons of money were put into this car to get this thing to line up as nicely as it does. There's just kind of no end to where they spent the money on this one. So, you know, looking at it, the paint on the skirts right there is great. The skirts just slide into place. They fit nice. Custom set of intro wheels on there. Those ones are a 17-inch. Beautiful wheel, and there's just a lot of stuff to that wheel as well as a lot of polished aluminum, as well as some custom abraded aluminum inside those spokes. It comes together real nice. Again, just if you look at that rear bumper there and just how good the plating is on it, I mean, this car is nice front to back, top to bottom, just a really good car. Taillights are nice, the bird emblem in the center, just all of that has been very tastefully done. The turquoise on the car is just, it's a beautiful color. Again, laid down very nicely on this one. Build on this car, I'd say it's probably about 10 years old or so, but done very nice. It's been garaged since. So low miles, but it has been driven. So there's a couple small rock chips, but overall a very, very nice paint job. Easily you can take this one to your car shows. It looks great. Again, if you kind of go around, you look at the moldings in back, everything has been restored nicely. Any of the chrome, of course, was re-chromed. Stainless steel has been polished. Everything to a very high-end finish. We're going to drive this thing and you'll get a chance to hear this. Motor is phenomenal. It's got a big block. We were told it was a 428. We haven't pulled an inspection cover to see if we can see the counterweight on the flywheel. But externally the 390s, the 428s, they're all identical. However, torque-wise, this one definitely feels like a 428. Take off from a stop and the car will just destroy the rear tires. And they're a Nitto 555 Extreme, so they got excellent grip. But engine's been equipped with a tri-power, it's got better ignition, it's got custom ceramic coated headers, and those are a long tube setup. It has a 2.5-inch mandrel bent exhaust with an X pipe. Just very, very nice. Normally when you drive a Thunderbird, you know, the 390s are torquey. They were 300 horse and 427 foot-pounds of torque, but it was a heavy car. That 428 moves this thing around effortlessly. Again, it's got the tri-power on it, which is definitely going to help out with that torque. Excellent motor. The transmission's been upgraded with a gear vendor's overdrive, positive traction in back, bigger sway bars, well, actually bigger sway bar in front and an added sway bar in the rear. We could kind of go around this thing 4 or 5 laps and keep talking, but we'll go ahead and jump in and we'll take her for a cruise and we'll get into the drivetrain a little bit more and give you a good look at that interior. Alright, inside of the T-Bird, just like the outside, all the chrome has been done. If you just look at the quality of the finish through here, it is just beautiful. All the black has been redone. Custom steering wheel. T-Bird's had the sliding tilt column. Basically, it tilts off to the right so you can kind of get in and out. Really good option for bigger guys that have a hard time getting into these cars. But basically, just pull it back over. Little fill-in panel automatically pops back up. So, pretty cool setup. Dash-wise, the factory gauges inside these pods have all been replaced. So we have aftermarket oil pressure, fuel, water temp, and the battery, as well as an added-on tack. Everything fits in there beautifully. Everything works correctly. One of the really cool things in here, and we'll kind of focus on that later, is speedometer. Basically, instead of having a needle, it's basically an orange line that basically travels right on up. So that's pretty cool. Factory clock in here still works. You can see the little second-hand ticking, which is nice. That's been rebuilt. In the dash here, we've got a Kenwood Deck. Really nice setup. It has a Sirius system that's still in the car, so you can have a satellite radio if you want. Also has a backup camera hooked to it. So you're backing up, basically there's a little button here underneath the dash. You tap that, turns on the backup camera, and there you go. So neat setup. Power windows work nice. Just a really, really well sorted car. Okay, engine has a mild cam to it, just a little bit of lope to the idle. Nothing crazy, because this is a cruiser. You don't want a big knuckle dragging, unrefined rig. Just a good performer. We've driven it all over, had a lot of fun doing it too. Power steering works nice. The steering is good and tight. You know, just a nice tight feel to the car. Like, it's a very, very high-end, well-sorted car. Exhaust is 2.5 inch with the X pipe, which is definitely good. It gives it a nice sound. Like I said, it's not loud. It just has a good deep grumble to it. But when you're cruising on the highway, it is just very quiet inside this car. Interior is nice. Shouldn't give you a good enough look at the video there in the seats, but Ken's got some nice sweepers in it. Leather upholstery, new carpet, all the kick panels look good. Stereo system, we've got what, 3 speakers in each one of the sail panels, 2 of them in each one of the doors. Really good bass note out of it, just a very full, rich sound inside the car. But anybody can drive this one. It has great torque. It's it's not a high-strung car. We'll put her through a couple corners here and just see how Ken's hands hold up to the holding that camera. But engine's cruising along. It does run cool. I think we're right around like 160 degrees on it. We've been driving it. Oil pressure's just right around 60 pounds at a cruise. Just a hair over 14 volts. So I'd say kind of gear ratio wise in this one, you're probably looking at something like a 3.50 standard ratio, and then you have that gear vendor's overdrive, which is probably going to push it to like a 2.79. And that is actuated by a switch on the floor. Alright, we're just going to quickly look at the handling here just to see how flat this car handles. When you're driving it, a lot of times it's hard to believe that you're in a T-Bird. If we were in a stock T-Bird, we would have just crashed back there. Handles incredibly flat. Again, the tires, those Nitto 555 Extremes are very nice, very grippy. But yeah, I don't think you'd want to try this. And we're really not even, it's a 35 mile an hour speed limit here, but you could not do that in a stock T-Bird. We'd be off in the trees, although probably ran into the guardrail back there. But good handling car. It just kind of carves up the roads. It really does not feel like you're driving a 65 Thunderbird. Again, just another great option about this car is just all the handling stuff that has been added. I can't say enough good about it, how it handles. I mean, we're actually moving through these corners pretty briskly, and the car isn't even giving any indication it's even halfway to a limit. So great car, great road car, great performing car, great looking car.